Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are creating an amazing application with React Native. We're going to learn how to fetch data and we're going to create an application that displays cars. All right. So the API we are going to use is called DraftBit, and here we have a lot of resources that we can use, and we're going to use specifically the endpoint, which is cars. So if I click on it, you'll see that it fetches some data about cars, and we're going to create this application using this API. So let's start creating the application quickly. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open a terminal. So I'm going to open a terminal on my Mac. You might be on Windows, but I'm using Mac, and some of you may experience problems, but I encourage you to buy Macs because macOS is better than Windows. So here, as you can see from my screen, I'll see CD into my desktop, and let's see what we have on desktop. We have one recording, which I'm currently recording. Okay, so I'm gonna say make directory React Native Cars app, and then I'm gonna say CD into React Native Cars app. And now, in order to create a React Native application, all you need to do is to say npx create npx react native init, and you give it a project name, and we will call this cars app, just like this, and we're gonna hit enter. Once we have done this, I'm gonna hit yes, and it will start installing all the packages needed for this project. All right, and we're gonna wait until this is downloaded, and then we're gonna open this with Visual Studio Code, and I'm gonna show you how to run this project on an iOS emulator using React Native. So let's wait until this is installed. All right. Alright, so as you can see right now, it has been finished installation, and here we have some instructions how to run this on Android and iOS. I am going to follow the instructions, but I'm gonna open VS Code. So I'm gonna clear this and I'm gonna exit this terminal, just like this, and I'm gonna close it. And now I'm gonna open VS Code, and I will open my desktop and the folder, and here the project. Okay, so I'm gonna open this, and I will do the following right now. I will open a terminal, and I'm gonna run a command, which is npx react native start. This will start Metro. If you have everything set up completely and with no issues, you should be able to run Metro. If you don't know how to install React Native configuration, you can go to React Native website. You can open React Native website, and here you have very good documentation how to install your environment for macOS, Windows, Linux, on which device you want to develop, for Android or iOS. Here basically you have to install Brew for macOS and some CocoaPods, and then you are good to go. It's a little bit harder for Windows machines because there you need more stuff to install. That's why I encourage you to work on macOS, because everything is so easy. Now let's see what we have right here. So the Metro is running, all right? And in order to start our emulator, all we need to do now, I'm gonna make this smaller though. Let's see, let's close this, and let's close this, and also minimize this. And let's do the following now. I'm gonna say npx react native run iOS. This command runs the project on an iOS emulator, and you'll see that my iPhone 13 just popped up. And in a moment, we will be able to see everything. So let me make this a little bit bigger so you can see. And I will reduce this right here. All right, I hope you can see my screen. Okay, I think that's good. So let's reduce this. All right, so let's wait until this is built, and we're gonna start creating the application. All right, we can see that the React Native project had started successfully. And right now we can open app.js and we can make some changes, and you'll see how this works, why I like React Native so much. If I change this right here, I don't know, like tsx maybe, and I save, you see that this thing right here changed, right? It's live changing. You can do edits, and it's reflected on the emulator, which is so good. So we will do the following. So let's get rid of this, and let's clear everything inside the return except the safe area view, okay? Because the safe area view is actually the component from React Native, which is pushing the stuff below the status bar. This here is a status bar, and it ensures that your stuff will be below that. Otherwise, if you remove it, it will go up and it will not be visible. Try this if you want. Okay, so let's delete this. Let's delete this. Let's delete the style. Let's remove this node. So app and regular arrow function. Background, dark mode, we don't need. Just remove everything from this file. Pum pum pum. All right, so let's make this. We don't need this. We don't need this. And we don't need this as well. All right, so here we have an empty app, and if I import right now text, so text, and if I do text, and just save, we'll see right here on the emulator. All right, so let's first install something that we will need. All right, so we will need Axios to fetch the data. So I'm going to say npm install. So clear ls, we are inside the project. Okay, npm install Axios, just like this. Let's wait until this is installed. Meanwhile, let's see our API. So we have a limit right here, but we can tweak this around. And I know that if we do only cars, we'll get all the cars back. So I think there are like 240 cars. All right. So we're going to use all this data to create a beautiful React Native flatless grid. And we'll see how to develop it in a moment. All right. So let's come back right here. And after Axios is installed, actually it's still installing. Meanwhile, what we can do is inside our project, we can create a directory called source. And here inside the source, we can create one folder called components. Okay. And inside the components, we can create, let's say, a component called home screen, homescreen.js. Okay. And here we can create our basic template. So I'm gonna say import React from React, and we can say const home screen equals an arrow function, just like this, and we will have return, and here we will have a view. All right, we have a view. Actually, we will also have safe area view, and it will auto import it for me right now. And I can also import view and style sheet, because we will need the style sheet to create to style this. So let's also say save area view, just like this, but it's not return save area view. All right, and we have view right here. So let's define the styles. So I'm going to say const styles equals style sheet dot create, and this is basically an object. We're going to have root, which is going to be like the root, and complete log can be found right here. What happened here? Registry npm.js network connectivity. Okay, I have some issues with the network. Let's see. npm install Axios, please. Come on, I want Axios. All right, it installed Axios for me. However, as we installed Axios, we need to say npx pod dash install, because after you install a package, you have to update the pods always. All right. After that, you can basically quit this and restart the project. So I'm going to say npx react native start and make another build. So I'm going to say clear npx react native run iOS. This way you ensure that after updating your packages, you will not have any crashing of your app. All right, so it's going to build it again. This time it's going to be quicker, but we have to save this in order not to fail. And it's going to open it again. So we have again, okay. Now let's import our component right here. So I'm going to say import home screen. Did we export it? No, we did not export it. So I'm going to say export default home screen, just like this. All right. And we're going to import this component inside our app.js. So inside app.js, I'm going to say import home screen. And instead of returning this right here, I'm going to return home screen component. So home screen, just like this. And once you put something here, so let's say text, we have to import also text from React Native. So text, and you say again, you see right here. Good. Before importing Axios, let's see what is this root right here, which I'm defining for styling this. So root. So here, when you do styling, everything is flex. In React Native, everything is flex. And I'm going to say flex 1 to this. And I'm going to say border width 1 and border color of red. Okay. And I'm going to say save area view style. That's going to equal the styles.root. Okay. When I save this, you'll see that we have right here, we have the red border, which is covering the whole screen right here. And you cannot see the edges, but it can be visible. If you give it, if you define another style here, let's say root 2, and give this border to this component, to this styling object, and remove it from here, but you give still flex 1 to the root, then what you'll see is that it will be visible below this notch right here and up to right here. So let's see, styles.root 2. Okay. Yeah, right now it's not because we have a little bit of content, but if we say flex 1 right here, you'll see that it will expand and it will take the whole screen. And this is what is on top of this and below this is the safe area view, which is ensuring that we are not touching the edges of the device. I hope you understand this. I tried to explain about a little bit about this styles object. Now, what I'm gonna do is I will say import Axios from Axios, and we will need some of the hooks, React hooks. I'm gonna say useState and useEffect. My favorite hooks. Who doesn't love useEffect and useState? So here, I'm gonna define a state. So I'm gonna say const loading and set loading, and that will be equal to useState false initially. And I'm gonna say const, let me see how the data comes. We have an array, perfect, an array of objects. All right. And we're gonna say const data and set data to equal const data, set data to equal useState. That's going to be an empty array. All right. Then what we're going to do is we're going to remove this text, and we're going to also remove the border, and we'll stay just like that. All right. And we're going to use the useEffect hook to fetch the data. So what we're going to do now, we'll say useEffect. So in the component will mount, same as React. There is no difference except that instead of rendering diffs, you render safe area views and text and buttons and stuff like this. That's why I like React Native, because it's so similar to React. Inside the useEffect, we're gonna say set loading to become true, because when we are fetching the data, we will want to display an activity indicator in the center of the screen. And after we have gotten the data back, we will remove this activity indicator and we will show our cars. And then what we need to do basically is to say axios.get, and here we'll provide the URL. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this URL and I'm going to paste it right here. And after that, that will return a promise. So we have to do .then. We will have the response, and we can say, I don't know if I say console log, I will have to enable the debugging tools, but let's see, if we have the response, we can directly set the data. So I'm going to say set data to the response.data. I think that will work. And to ensure this is working, we can say alert json.stringify response.data. It's complaining unexpected alert. Okay, I think that's because of ESLint. Now, after that, we can say dot catch if there is any error. If there is any error, we can say console log error. All right. And when everything is finished, either we have an error or we have fetched successfully the data, we can say finally. And here we can set the loading. So set loading to be false, just like this. Oops. So I'm gonna hit this and let's see. Okay, you see the data right here on this alert. It fetched the data successfully, and we can see all the data we have right here, like JSON object. So we can proceed with the rest right now. Okay, so here inside this view, what we're gonna do is we're gonna say if it's loading. So let's first import the activity indicator right here. So I'm gonna say activity indicator, just like this. This is the default activity indicator for Android and iOS. And here we have curly braces inside this view. All right. And we're gonna say, if it's loading, we want to display activity indicator. Size, it's gonna be large, and the color, I don't know, like let's do it like this. Activity indicator. Else we want, I don't know, like let's do for the moment text, because I want to test the loading functionality. This should be the data here. All right, let's see. Now you see the activity indicator, and then you see the data, right? The data will be on the place of this. So our custom logic is working, but let's give this also align items to the center, and also justify content to the center, just like this. Now you can see the activity indicator on the center, and the text will be also in the center. All right. Now what we will do as well is we will import flat list, my favorite component when it comes to rendering data in React Native. So I'm going to import flat list, and right here we will do the following. Instead of rendering text, we will render the flat list. So I'm going to say flat list, and this flat list accepts a couple of props. So it accepts data, which is going to equal our data. Key extractor will be let's see how this was done, because I forgot. So React Native, and I'm gonna hit the website, and I'm gonna search for flat list. Okay, so here we have a flat list, render item, key extractor item.id. All right, I got it. Okay, render item, item ID. Okay, we have ID, we have let's see, we have IT right here, which can work like ID. All right, which is good. So let's come back here. I'm gonna say item.it, just like this, and then we can say render item to equal render item, and we have to create this render item right here. So const render item, that's gonna be, we are getting the item, we are extracting the item from the render item. Okay, this is basically the data. When you do render item equals render item, and you say item right here, you are getting each individual object from the data right here. And for here, for this one, we can just say return see the docs. Yeah, we have to say return because I'm using the curly braces and not this syntax right here. But yeah, we can do it this way, of course. So return view, and I'm gonna also import image. So image from React Native, and I'm gonna say view image, and as far as I remember, this image prop accepts a source, item, and that's going to be item.image. item.image. Let's come back. Let's type image. Source URI. Okay, we have to do it like this. Import source URI, because we have URI right here. So let's do item.image. I think that's gonna work. All right. Now, if I save this, let's see what we have. Each child should have a unique key prop. Okay. What can we do for this? What can we do for the key extractor? We can use win. Let's do the win. So item.win. All right. Let's save and let's see. Okay, let's remove this alert. Response.data. I don't see the image. Let's do text and also do item.model. Okay, now we can see all the models right here. So we are getting the data back. We are getting the data back, but we cannot see the images. And why is this? Is because maybe we should give this a style. So style width of 300. Let's see. Image. If I remove the center. All right, so we are getting the model. So I'm gonna get rid of this, and I want a view style flex one. This is so strange. Width inline style. Okay, this is ESLint stuff. All right, so we get the images right now. We should give height and width to the image. I forgot this. Okay, this is perfect. So let's center also this, and now we can see all the images. But I want I don't want a vertical, I want a horizontal. So I'm going to say horizontal, just like this. And now we can see that we have a horizontal mode of this flat list. And what we can basically do is we want this in the center, so we can also give this view, let's say view style align items center. Okay, they're in the center, and justify content center. All right, now here we can see that they are in the center, and we can see the images coming. Right. So let's also maybe put the text, and here let's say For this one, item.model. So we want to see also the model of the car, and also give this style size, font size of 19. Just make it a little bit bigger. You can see also the car names on top. And also we want to give this view a little bit of margin. So I'm going to say margin of 10, margin 10. Let's do margin 10. And we can see now that we have some margin between the images. Isn't that cool? Look at that. And maybe we can give this image a border. So also I'm going to say border 1 and border color red. And now they should have border, but they don't have border. The view has border, sorry. The view, I don't want the view, I want the image to have some. Okay, let's see. It should be border width, I'm sorry. So border width, and here we can see the border of this. Amazing. And let's also maybe do font weight of bold. And here we go. So we have the data. If I reload, we can see the activity indicator for a moment. And we see our data coming back. Isn't this amazing? All right, so let's refactor this. And this is not a good way to style, by the way, like inline styling. So let's create some styles quickly. I'm gonna say car text, and we will also have image. So let's just copy and paste the styles. So copy this, we're gonna say styles dot car text and paste that for car text. For the image, let's also copy this and say styles dot image. And you can see how small is becoming, like the code is shrinking and there is not a lot of code. And also we have this, and maybe for this one we can say flat list container, just like this, and paste the styles, and we can say styles flat list container. All right. So the code is done right now, and you can see how much we have done and how much you have learned for this video. You learned how to fetch data with Axios and display your cars inside your emulator screen. You learned about how to style React Native elements and how to render React Native elements. I hope you liked this video. If you want more topics like this one, make sure you comment below and say what you want to watch. Like, do you want React Native content or you want React content, pure React content for making websites? I can do both of them. If you want other types of videos, just let me know down below. I appreciate your feedback. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe right now and recommend to a friend. Thank you again, and I see you again in the future.